You read the title. I think the most painful part about this is that I know that she is watching this as well. I I do care, but at the same time, it's gotten to a point. The absolute boiling point. It was around when I released my two songs, My Last Day on Earth and Way Out, featuring Hatsune Miku, is when things really started to escalate. She was basically calling around, claiming that I was going to kill myself imminently. Like spam calling every person connected to me that she could. Basically just trying to, I don't know, either trying to be honest, I don't know what the intent was. I don't know whether it was some obsessive form of concern, whether it was trying to get me in trouble for posting depressing songs and like using that as a way to claim that I'm a danger to myself. I don't know whether it's a way to remind me that she's always watching, because obviously that would get back to me. They have to verify that I'm okay, which gives away that she, like, reached out to them. For about, I think, 14 years of my life, I lived with my biological mother, and she was very abusive in pretty much any aspect you can think of. Um, she neglected me for most of my childhood. She physically, emotionally abused me when she wasn't. Um, she turned me against my own father, and that resulted in his death. She is the reason that he died. Purely allegedly based on my own opinion of events, she's decided that isn't enough. She's decided that she needs to try and work her way into every single facet of my life, and this video is kind of purpose. It's got really no purpose, but I'm hoping it will achieve. Maybe she'll watch this and stop. She'll get scared and not want to do it anymore. Maybe somebody will relate and they'll feel heard. Or maybe I'm just doing it for myself to get my story out there. I don't know. But I didn't have to, obviously, but I chose to abandon my previous YouTube channel because she had been stalking me on there. She'd been leaving comments. And I silently left, and I figured she's surely not obsessed enough to find my new one. I mean, she didn't care about me when I was there. Why would she care about me now? Well, apparently she does. And this year, not long ago, she reached out again. And this has been happening for almost 4 years now. I've been just completely unable to escape. Every single time she comments, I relapse. I relive everything I went through. I just I'm thankful that I can remember things as she's commenting, because I have post-traumatic stress disorder, and part of it is amnesia, of which I can hardly remember anything in present day, let alone past day. So I am thankful that it unlocks new memories, but at what cost? I mean, they're triggering. They come from the reality that she's still around me. Because, I don't know, I can't help but feel like she wants me to feel the pain, to remember it, and I mean, before I was thinking maybe she wanted me back, but, like, we're way past that. That's impossible. If I wanted that, I would have made that clear by now. I've turned 18. I've decided to omit this part for my safety, but she has also been trying to weaponize the legal system against me, which I'm like 99% sure I could leave this in because her claim is so fruitless, but I'm just going to put it. But I had to ask them to stop asking me if I ever wanted contact with her. I had to stop them from asking me. And now that I'm 18, she's still gotten radio silence. And apparently that's just not enough for her to realize. I mean, obviously it is. I truly believe that in some way this is malicious, but I've realized some important things about her. I've remembered too vividly what she did to my father, and how she used me to completely destroy him. Um, and he was really ill, and he's always been mentally ill. He's always been unwell, both physically and everything. And that's not my mum's fault, but she I really truly believe that she drove him to insanity. When I was growing up, even before it escalated, she was horrible to him. She would get me to make fat phobic statements about his body basically all the time. It became humor for me, and he always laughed along, but I don't. He talked about how he wanted to lose weight, and in hindsight, that's really upsetting because I think that's why he wanted to. And of course, like, you can just want to on your own, but I can't help but, like, I feel like it got to him. She would convince me that he was cheating on her with an endless stream of women, new ones that she'd imagine every single time. She would pin me against him. My jokes towards him were incredibly physical. She would encourage me to hit him. It was never like terrible, but I don't I don't know why you would make your child do that. I don't think that's funny. I don't think that's teaching them a good moral lesson, even if he's completely fine with it and he didn't care. Like, I just don't think that's a message that you should be giving your child. Um, I really don't. And in the end, it resulted in me truly, genuinely believing that he was a terrible father and a terrible person. I ended up being the main advocator for him being kicked out and being ran to homelessness, and both of them were severely disabled. They were both living on benefits. I mean, my mum less so. She had epilepsy, and I mean, I don't want to sound rude, but like, I feel like she could have tried a little harder. I feel like there are, and of course she really was disabled, but she lied on all of her applications and forms to get her disability aid so that she would get more of it. And that's not because they were denying her of money. We were well off. You know what I had? I had consoles, Nintendos, laptops. We weren't broke. Like, she really just wanted more money. Also, important clarification that I had in mind while doing this section is that the main reason I'm going so hard on her is because she also committed fraud. She signed me up to get disability allowance without telling me, without my permission, and she took all of the money for herself. I haven't gotten a single bit of it. She has in the past donated to me to try and bribe me to come back home. However, I have no way of knowing if the amount actually adds up to what I would have been owed, considering that this was years of disability allowance that she got in my name. And in the end, like, especially later on, she ended up reserving most of it anyway, but I knew it was still there. She wasn't using it on me anymore. I mean, in the end, she had convinced me successfully that he was the perpetrator, that he was the problem, and that he needed to be removed. And you know where that ended up with him going? Hopefully to heaven. Because he died. Not even long after he was kicked out. he died. He was a chain smoker. He'd always smoked. I think even before he'd met her, he was in mental wards and he smoked, I do believe. But all of the just constant stress that she was applying all the time, I really truly think that she fastened his death. I mean, he died because he was smoking. He died because of lung problems, and he was an absolute chain smoker. And would it have been this way if she hadn't been applying so much stress? I dread to imagine. I honestly don't think he would have been alive today either way, but I think I would have had time to say goodbye. I still remember visiting him in the hospital, and I don't even remember if he could speak to me. I know that he acknowledged me. He looked at it for the first trip or two. He did look at me, and I think he might have held my hand. But after that, I don't know if he. I think the last time I ever saw him, he was just completely gone. He was alive, but he was just he was dead. And I truly think I would have had more time with him. I hadn't quite processed everything that had happened, so I still believed that he had done wrong to me, but I still loved him, and I would have really appreciated more time. More time to get to know him. This video isn't supposed to be a trauma dump or whatever, but I mean you clicked on it, but I feel like it's important to at least discuss roughly what happened to me, even if I'm not sure if I want to go into much detail. I was not physically abused so much, but she would often comment on how she felt like she was neglecting me, that she was spending too much time away from me. But it never changed. And when she did start paying attention to me, that's when the abuse ramped up the most, is when she actually paid attention to me for once. And I remember how bad it got. There was a time where she was attempting to barge into my room when the door was closed. And I got up to try and close the door, but she had already, like, barged her way in, and I had pushed her very lightly. And I was trying to close my door again. I wasn't even aggressive in the slightest, and then she just started, like, coming towards me, and she threw me onto my bed and pinned me down, and I was threatening to call the police on her, and she was holding both of my hands and stopping me from reaching for my phone to get help. But I managed to get her off of me, and I did call the police, and of course that's only when she stopped hurting me. And I truly believed that I was in the wrong for pushing her out of my room. And when the police got there, I think they were very gracious. I was a sobbing mess. I was begging them to take me to jail, and they decided not to. They informed me that apparently what I had done was technically illegal or something, although they weren't in the room, so I'm not sure. And that they would let me off. And I remember all the while this conversation was happening, my mum was she was just begging for me to be jailed. She was just begging for her child, who was hardly even defending himself, to be locked away because I dared to defy her. I had to change my entire sleep schedule to avoid her. I was awake at nights and I would sleep during the day. Um, I was too depressed to leave my house ever. I was just rotting away in my bed on my laptop creating art. Um, I was really starting to feel it physically. My legs were just constantly aching. And yet I just had no energy to go out. I just didn't want to do anything anymore. I've recently remembered one thing that she did to me. She overdosed on painkiller, but only by a small fraction. And then she lied to me and said that she had severely overdosed and she'd had like 40 tablets. And I was mortified. I was terrified for her. I was the one that got her to the hospital, and I can't remember if she confessed that she was lying or if the doctors sussed her out, but either way, I did find out that she'd lied, and it it was just a ploy to get attention from me, to make me feel bad, to elicit some kind of a reaction out of me, I suppose. She didn't even attend his funeral. I was the only one there. I was the only one who attended his funeral. And she thinks that she has the audacity to reach out to me several times for 4 years, saying that she knows what she did wrong, that she's changed, and things would be so much better if I came home or had contact with her, and to just consider it. It's she just can't she can't take a hint. And I've been recommended once or twice to directly um like reach out and tell her to leave me alone, but why should I be expected to do that? Obviously, I've done shit wrong, but in this circumstance, I am nothing but the victim. I was subjected to an entire childhood of emotional abuse and turmoil, and just no love from her. Or I mean, things were difficult with my dad as well. Like, he was not a good parent. I truly believe that he was a good person. I truly believe that he loved me. He never hurt me in the ways that she would. But just to say that they were both troubled, and I I just don't understand how I should be the one expected to be clear when. Why would I want to speak to her again? Why would I want to be face to face with the woman who essentially ruined my life? Many, many events that have happened throughout my life that were traumatic, they wouldn't have happened if I had a good upbringing and I wasn't so dissociated, so far gone from reality, because I'm so far gone. I'm still far gone. I was worse back then. Um, I I was used to being stepped on and used, and I allowed more people to do that because of that. And it's just been it's been the catalyst for just a torturous life. And I'm so glad that I have so many positives, and I have my boyfriend, who I'm hoping is forever. And I've truly learned so much in recent times, and I truly think I'm so much better of a person. I think my life quality is so much better. I'm able to make the art that gets how I feel onto paper, so to speak. But I'll never be rid of her, both in my mind and because she doesn't want me to be able to leave her behind. And it's worked. It's worked. I haven't been able to. So I hope you're happy.